and Ashley went to Bristol to discover another way of connecting body and mind, somewhere very different to church.
I've come to the Wave, a man-made surf park on the outskirts of the city, opening up opportunities for urbanites like me to experience the natural strength and power of the water, which thousands of surfers claim is a spiritual experience. Among them are Rich Ellerington and Andy Frost.
How did you guys meet?
A long, long time ago. We were both trained by the church to be evangelists, happy to share and communicate the Christian faith.
I saw from the clothes he was wearing he was kind of a surfer, and I asked, do you surf? Yeah, I surf, and then it was, okay, let's go surf together.
For these two, surfing is central to their faith, and these activities connect body and mind in a way that church doesn't.
There can be this idea that Christianity is quite a safe thing to do, that you stay in the confines of your church and you have your little meetings, but really for me it's about going on an adventure with God, discovering that I am created to be this way. It gives you a much bigger perspective on life, and that's really important.
When you guys are surfing, how are you feeling?
I think when you ride a wave, you tap into this force that's far greater than yourself, and you recognise your position in the world, you recognise that there are some, amazing things at work. You get this sense of, wow, this ocean's phenomenal, this is such a gift, and I think that does an amazing thing for your well-being.
I couldn't wait to experience that for myself, and having donned my wetsuit, headed out onto the waves. Just like Kate on roller skates, the first thing I need to master is being able to stand up. Things don't get off to a great start.
Go on, Ashley! Yeah!
Just when I think I might have nailed it, I'm back in the water.
I wanted to stand up! Come on, man!
I didn't want to give up, but things weren't going well. I must admit, it was frustrating.
I imagine there's something to be learned about resilience as well, right?
So it does kind of make you think, can I keep doing this or not? That resilience builds up over time.
Wow.
And I think over the years we've kept surfing despite some facial stitches here.
Yeah. Sliced in the face and had 200 stitches to put me back together. Still, I keep going.
Yeah.
And I think in those scary moments, you can retreat. But we've had to make the choice to step back in, to be resilient, to chase after it. I think that's a big lesson in life.
Have there ever been times out on the water when you're surfing that you've almost had a bit of a close shave and you've really had to draw on your faith?
I was in Hawaii a few years ago surfing there, and just me and one guy out. He calls me Andy, Shark Andy. I thought he was joking. Turn around and the shark fin this big out of the water.
Oh my, stop it.
Well, it's weird, because you're not quite sure how you're going to react to that moment until it happens. It's really weird. I had a real stillness and peace, and I prayed a very short prayer saying, Jesus, save us, amen, and didn't look back, really.
You are a brave man. Like, I would have been terrified.
Well, the next day I knew I had to get back in the water, because I thought if I don't surf again now, I might never surf again.
So you then had to conquer the fear properly.
And that's what we're exploring today. How we might be able to connect to a sense of resilience and the spiritual by creating a better connection between body and mind and each other. So re-inspired, I was heading back out.
It's going to absolutely nail it. I mean, I have full confidence.
At least someone had confidence in me. And although I tried my best and was focusing on silencing the voice of doubt, I still couldn't quite stand up. But I was making progress.
He's really getting it.
And I have to admit, I was enjoying it.
He's got this massive smile.
That's all about it.
He's loving it.
Massive smile.
And after a few full starts, body and mind were in harmony, and I did it. I must admit, I surprised myself, not just by standing on the board, but by the way it made me feel.
Oh, my days. I just surfed. I was really hesitant before going in. Don't know why, but doing that was just incredible. A lot of knockbacks, a lot of falls, a lot of embarrassing moments, but a couple of times I was able to get up, stand up. You know, for a reasonable amount of time, we're talking seconds, but when you stand up and you glide on the water, it feels incredible. And Rich and Andy were...
Well done.
Thank you. See? Like, such an encouraging crew, and having, like, Rich and Andy to support was amazing as well. Like, I weren't expecting that sense of achievement and overcoming, but even that, like, you can kind of see, you know, the underlying themes that Rich and Andy talk about, that sense of resilience and overcoming and, yeah, connecting to something bigger than yourself. Because when you feel that wave and that force and, like, you're on that wave and you're riding it, I mean, it's an incredible feeling. So, yeah, feeling chuffed.
Made it.
I have to say, the joy I felt standing on that board is comparable to a religious experience. Something that Phil Williams, a committed Christian surfer, is unsurprised about.
Phil, do you think there's something about surfing that makes it particularly easier to connect to God?
There's a phrase, there's no atheist once the surf gets above 20 foot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a verse in the Bible about living life to the full. And to me, surfing and my faith coming together is exactly what it is. And just being out there in nature or just being here in a wave garden and just having a wave that's never, ever going to break again is something so special.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, definitely a faith experience for me.
Phil has had to learn to overcome challenges, doubt, and fear.
Been surfing 40 years. We've had some pretty gnarly times.
40 years, wow.
40 years, yeah. Where you literally cry out in terror and fear, your leash is broken, you're miles out to sea or whatever. But also, I think, for me, we've seen just amazing experiences. Surfing somewhere where you see nature coming together, and also a sunset that you just makes you think, what is this about? And for me, it's a faith thing, so it's been incredible.
Meeting Phil, Andy, and Rich has helped me understand how surfing enhances their faith. It's also building up an inner belief in me. I mean, I fell off that board so many times, but all worth it for that feeling of euphoria at the end. Feeling the power of what happens when mind and body are in unison. And of course, it's not just believers who can experience that. I caught up with Nick Hounsfield, who set this place up with the aim of improving well-being for everyone.
So tell me a bit about the initial inspiration behind the centre here.
Yeah, so my background used to be in healthcare and been a surfer for 40 years and know personally what the benefits are of being outside, being in blue spaces, being in water, being outdoors and in nature.
And what else can surfing teach someone?
That actually falling over is okay and it's fun, and actually it's through falling over and then getting back up and learning and doing it over and over and over again that actually you really get good at things, and that's fine. And I think there's a wonderful metaphor in life about that it's fine to make mistakes.
That's definitely something I can relate to after my experiences. But ultimately, it was also hugely enjoyable.
You guys have heaps of fun, don't you?
For sure.
Yeah, I think life has got to be... I mean, there's so much to have fun about.
This love of surfing and extreme sports, actually, it's quite fundamental to the way you live out your spiritual life. Like, there's a strong connection, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, the gift of creation, the gift of the ocean, the gift of waves, the gift of life is something to be grabbed hold of and enjoyed.
Yeah.
And so I really I'm so thankful to God that I get to do these things. I get to worship Him as well in those things.
But of course, uniting body and mind and gaining inner strength